Hello, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mickey Mouse here, and I am from the likes of the Moxie Toys videos. Sorry for tongue twisting in the end, folks. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more of Let's Play of Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom. So last time we have managed to go through the conclusion of 100cc by going through the forms of the final cup on that class, which appears to be the Special Cup. And today, we're about to begin the final class in the entire game, which as you can see, we're now going on to 150cc class, which meaning about the fact that the game itself might actually get a lot tougher in comparison to 50cc and 100cc, which we'll talk more about it whenever we're able to jump right in. So either way, as you can clearly see on the screen, we are now selecting the final racer on this entire game itself, which appears to be none other than Princess Peach, or as what's known in this game, just a princess in general, which I'm not exactly sure why, but that was just in the 90s basically. So anyway, yeah, as you can see, we are about to be racing on to the Mushroom Cup for the final time for this game, and this time around, we're going to be racing on to 150cc class, which the only difference is between the, well, as you can tell this by now, is the fact that 150cc class is actually the unlockable class. In order to actually unlock this class, is that you have to claim all of the gold trophies in during probably most likely between both 50cc and 100cc if it's possible, but either way though, I haven't really exactly looked it up on the forms of the unlockable methods in this entire game so far. So naturally speaking, I'm just essentially just trying to able to go for the actual the ordeal way of trying to able to actually show you guys how the game itself actually worked out to be. So now, as you can tell by this point, is the fact that Peach's rival, or Princess's rival in this game, which appears to be none other than, well, Bowser himself, because apparently, you know, Bowser just loves to kidnap the Princess Toadstool, or in this case, Princess Peach in a modern world, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious for that specific player choice of rivals. So yeah, you get the idea for that point. So, yeah, let's talk about the forms of while this has been going on, is the fact that, you know how the fact that one thing I totally forgot to mention about this, and during the likes of in the last weekend or something, during the likes of the Flower Cup in 100cc, same applies for the Star Cup as well, that you know how the fact that there's a new tour that just came up during recently, which is of course the Ice Tour, and apparently though, that I'm thinking that in a later day, that we'll able to discuss more about it until likely in the next weekend or something like that. And then that way we'll able to actually talk more about it. But for now, with the forms of the Ice Tour, that I think I've sort of mentioned about this during the likes of in the last weekend before, or perhaps maybe not. But apparently we actually got ourselves the returning Frappy Snowland from, you know, from Mario Kart 64 in Mario Kart Tour, which is nice, because of how the fact that it's been a long time since we're actually now going to be revisiting that particular track, but this time around on smartphones and all that stuff. And also, during new forms of the character selection they've got in the Ice Tour, which we've got about 3 playable characters as far as I'm aware when it comes to microtransaction system, which you probably already know. And those are the holiday version of Peach based off of that one particular costume from Super Mario Odyssey, as we all know, and also Penguin Luigi from the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and finally, perhaps most notably, is Ice Mario, the returning Ice Mario from the likes of Super Mario Galaxy, which is very exciting actually, but unfortunately for me though, I simply just not even like unlocking him yet, probably because of, yet again, with microtransactions as well as like some sort of a luck factor involved, which I will admit though right away, it's still not that great, and they still have not fixed the actual emphasis on random chances or something. But either way though, I'm just like, whatever, and I'll just simply gonna have to leave it as it goes by. So now let's move on to Ghost Valley 1 for the final time in this game. Oh yeah, something about with this particular starting boost, by the way. I don't suppose that in 100cc you can't do that, and even especially noticeable with 50cc, but I could assure to you, I may be wrong, about the fact that you would able to only do that in 150cc, 50cc, sorry. Sorry for a little bit of a commentary error for this point, guys, because I know for the fact that I just want to point things out right away. I just want to move on to the next game in the franchise before we get on with the next installment of the Mario Kart retrospective, where it comes to likely the classic games in industries. Like, you know, we're pretty much almost nearly towards the end of this game for sure, and then at some point in spring we'll do 64, summer, Super Circuit, and autumn during the forms of Double Dash, and that'd be pretty much about it. Now, as far as the arcade games are concerned, I'm probably not going to count them anyway, to be honest with you, because I simply cannot access them onto the actual emulator, and it's a lot more hard work to able to actually just get it set it up. So, unfortunately, the Mario Kart Arcade GP games will be missing out. So, sorry to tell you for this point, guys, but I just want to point it out right away. So, anyway, though, I don't think I can guarantee I can able to catch up because, yeah, it looks like the others just, yeah, they simply beat me to it. Oh well, we'll simply lose a life right there, but hopefully we'll try that again. Honestly, it won't be that hard, it's just the fact that I just keep on getting myself screwed over with these Ghost Valley stages, of course, because you know how I felt about with those kinds of stages compared to most of you guys out there that I seem to be able to not noticing about, you know, not paying attention to most other parts and throughout, but then again, I just wasn't paying attention, so... Oh well, anyway, so, I suppose another thing I'd like to discuss upon is the fact that, recently, in the UK version of Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, actually gets itself its, the BBFC rating system, and it appears to be the exactly the same, parental guidance rating, because as a result, it might actually contain some violence, some brief mild language, or anything like that, or rude humor, as far as I managed to read it up on that. So it kind of feels like the same thing for how it does in Detective Pikachu movie, but either way though, might as well able to actually just talk more about it when that film is about to come out. So, well, specifically the Sonic movie as of now. So either way, let's just go ahead and keep on moving at one point. Eventually, whenever we go on to the next few recording sessions, specifically, you know, with the final 3 cups in 150cc in particular, I'll be going over for the forms of the character selections I'm gonna be selecting for this point on. So I think, as far as this point, not the heavyweight classes, because screw them, and as far as characters I'm concerned, I think I should probably select Luigi, Toad, and Koopa Troopa for last, because I think, to be honest with you, Koopa Troopa was actually probably the best racer in the game. At least to my knowledge anyway, because, you know, we had such a very, very easy time on, you know, Mushroom Cup in 100cc with Koopa Troopa, so... That's how it goes for my, honest of taste right there, just because of how the fact that, well, you probably noticed to be expect. But then again, though, it's over when we get to, let's just say in Mario Kart 64, especially noticeable with, you know, Mario Kart Super Circuit, and for that matter, or mind you, in Mario Kart Super Circuit, we'll promise you guys we're mainly focusing on one particular class. But as far as this game, as well as Mario Kart 64, and especially noticeable with the Mario Kart Double Dash, we'll try to able to switch things over for a little bit when it comes to likely with classes playthroughs and stuff like that for that wager, which I know this particular processing department might not go that well. Oh sweet, we can able to actually just, well, just beat the likes out of those farms by simply using a Starman, which I think that really helps on this particular course, especially noticeable if we could have managed to help it out in during the likes of in the final cup in the game, or the final track I should say, which is of course Rainbow Road, but unfortunately that didn't seem to happen, so... Oh well though, we'll just try to leave it as it goes by, so anyways, let's go ahead and just keep on moving forward a little bit, and hopefully we would able to dodge a lot of these fireball projectiles that somehow Bowser just managed to able to send out. And hopefully just dodge that. and hopefully grab some coins in the process. And I think we actually got about 22 coins in total, and seems so. Oh goodness gracious, that was close. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those episodes on this in 150cc sometimes, is that, you know, it always comes off as like some sort of like a close game, kind of syndrome or something, because most of the time, if you really want to know what you could expect to see how this will turn out, but most of the time though, you never know if you're gonna win or not. But anyways, now let's move on to the final track in Mushroom Cup, and it's also the final time we're going to be going on to the Mushroom Cup in this game, which appears to be Mario Circuit 2. So yeah, probably get the idea for that solution. So, but then otherwise guys, there's not much else I can say about this here, apart from the fact that, well, in 150cc in particular, as you can see, that everyone else is actually driving a lot faster than you, which this means this particular CC class might be brutal for some players, because not only does it try to able to make everything a lot faster than before, but also most of these players really start to have a vendetta against you, which I think, seemingly to say, wait, it's not something to do with that, it's most likely computer players will start to hate you a lot more, or even in this case, do not like you as much, which I will say for this point, good luck with that ultimate challenge, by the way, especially noticeable with the Special Cup in mind. Oh, speaking of the Special Cup, actually, you notice we've already unlocked that during 100cc. Thankfully, you don't have to replay the entirety of 150cc again, and then that way you can able to unlock the actual, the Special Cup already. So that's good news, because otherwise, then, it will be insane if you try to replay for the entire class again, which, then again, 150cc was the unlockable class, as you already know, whilst before Mario Kart 64 and Double Dash and later on, the mirror mode actually existed with it, which then again, we'll talk more about it whenever we get to Super Mario Kart 64 until sometime in spring. So, anyways folks, I think that's all I can just try to focusing on at this rate, especially noticeable that we've now finally concluded the Mushroom Cup. So even then, thankfully though, since after all we claimed 3rd place all in all, but luckily for me though, we did manage to claim a victory with a tie between, you know, the Princess and Bowser, of course. But that's fine, because otherwise then it still counts as victory as a win, so. And as you can see, the trophy design is actually a lot different compared to 100cc and 50cc, is that now we have ourselves a gold trophy representing Mario's face, which, to be expected because, you know, Mario's name was on the title, but yeah, you know, you probably get the idea for that solution right there. So, yeah, I guess we'll pretty much guaranteed it by this point in time. I think we should probably end things off at this point here, so join me until next weekend, or in this case for this matter though, probably in next Friday and the entire weekend next weekend, because as a result, see you guys next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario Kart, is the fact that we are moving on to the next cup in 150cc class, which appears to be the Flower Cup next. So see you guys on next Friday. Later.